I encourage you to read that quote, but I'm going to say one from Nicole, what's her face from Pussycat Dolls, when she said, "I don't think you know I'm about to blow," whatever. From Buttons. Who doesn't remember that song? Anyway, this is a quick video. I'm having fun doing it, and I think it's important. Why am I randomly getting Nicole's quote wrong and talking about number twos? Well, because they're often kind of left to the side, and number three, like Germany, takes a spotlight with this picture. You have to be odd to be number one, and sometimes number three, you just get lucky. You know, for a long time, I thought, kind of ashamed of myself for being single, never married, and then I realized something that the man of my dreams does too. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being single, never married. You're never going to lose points on that when it comes to things that really matter. Love's the only house big enough for all the pain in the world. Martina McBride, a very solid number two, said that. She's never been number one yet. This is where I was just before January 6th. I realized in that moment after the picture was taken, I was as much a shadow on that wall as I was still alive. So I did something about it. This is me about 4 months after January 6th. My father went to that, and I realized, I'm probably going to go homeless again. The entire family is morally bankrupt, and there's no one but me left at the helm. Now, we all like to do silly things. I like to have themes for my years, and I like to have birthday pictures. I never took one when I was 35. Well, I kind of did. It's a bad one. I wanted it to be bad because I was kind of pissed. Over January 6th still. I kind of knew I was going to go homeless. There was nothing I could do about it. But this is the picture I had. Basically, it's my number two backup birthday picture. It's what I used when I became family leader. The night I found my father crying and lying and painting to me in a back bedroom that wasn't even his. What is West Virginia number one at? Well, it's number one in our hearts, right? You have to go no matter how many times it takes to get out of there, and I went to the jobs for it. I got out of West Virginia 5 times, and the last time I survived an interstate kidnapping and made it back to Denver, to IHOP on Colfax Station, but that wasn't where I ended up working at, and I sure did leave today thinking I was going to get employed for something else, but that work event was already canceled before I even left the house. It wasn't my house. It was a house belonging to Gen X, a great generation. I kind of feel like if you're waiting on other people to do the right thing, you might just be waiting a very long time. You could end up at the hospital escorted there by 2 police officers, and 3 hours later find yourself dealing with it all with Mandy at Starbucks because the hospital didn't believe in your suicide or that it was real. It's a boomer world. Whether they are going to admit it or not, boomers gave us 9/11, 2 endless wars, the 2008 financial crisis, and all of Donald Trump. It really is all in their hands. They should fix it, but they probably aren't going to. We can't even figure out where my dad is right now. In this world, you have to be more wild and more wonderful. This is kind of like a backup shot for turning 36, and I did it 6 months after I was 36. Now, facts are, it's important to remember the past. This is also one of my favorite shots this year. I did it for Jack Caffrey, greatest generation, former leader of McDowell County, and it kind of inspired by the gangsters of the old days and Michael Jackson's You Rock My World video, actually, is where this comes from. But, we all have to deal with things. We've got to deal with the fact that if I die, and I do have a 16 times higher likelihood of dropping dead any minute just for being homeless for this long, that nobody's going to be bringing my body back to West Virginia. I won't even have a funeral. I will just not be online anymore. Aha, correction. There won't be anything new of me online anymore. There's still a whole lot there on YouTube, and we have this new millennium to be grateful that whatever I put online, it's going to stay online. This is my favorite picture I've taken while homeless of me, and it's a picture I took when I was sleeping late at the homeless shelter and then kicked out, and I had to walk in snow until I found the bus stop. That's really how the homeless shelter treats you. Now, when I turned 36, I never really took a birthday picture. I'm too busy trying to fight homelessness to do silly things like that anymore. But I did take this one, not for the man of my dreams, just the first man I ever met in Denver, the one who took me to the Rocky Mountains for the first time yesterday. I'm not even going to send this to him. I'm just going to see if he brings it up. But we're just friends for now. Whatever you are, be a good one. Now, who said that? It wasn't Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it wasn't Nicole What's-Her-Face from Pussycat Dolls. That would be Abraham Lincoln. Have you ever heard of him? Because my new stepdaddy hasn't. He ought to love my mother like he's never loved her before and get with the program.